From Viking runes etched into Hagia Sophia by fierce northern warriors serving Byzantine emperors, to the primal cry, "Awaken Iron!" echoing through the rugged Catalan mountains. We recall the tragic sacrifice of 147 Swiss guards massacred on St. Peter's steps defending the Pope. These are the 12 historic special forces of Europe. Emerging from the tumultuous landscape between the 10th and 14th centuries, history forged one of Europe's most formidable special forces, the Varangian Guard. This elite unit, the formidable shield of the Byzantine Empire, was a fearsome tapestry woven from the might of Scandinavian warriors and the unwavering resolve of exiled Anglo-Saxons. Stationed in the glittering heart of Constantinople, they stood as the unyielding personal bodyguards to the emperors, their loyalty an unshakable fortress. Clad in gleaming heavy armor, adorned with sturdy round Viking shields, they were iconic for their colossal two-handed axes. These weren't just weapons, they were extensions of their very will, instruments of brutal close combat. With each swing, they carved a path through their enemies, delivering devastating strikes that echoed the ferocity of their Nordic and Anglo-Saxon heritage. Their fierce, unwavering loyalty was legendary. Foreign warriors with no local allegiances, they were impervious to the political machinations of the court, never once conspiring against the emperor they swore to protect. Among their illustrious ranks was Harald Hardrada of Norway, a man whose epic journey saw him serve as a Varangian, amass extraordinary wealth and renown before returning to claim his own throne. In the crucible of battle, the Varangian Guard struck terror into the hearts of their foes. Their imposing stature, combined with an unflinching willingness to fight to the absolute last man for the emperor's life, made them an unstoppable force. Yet beyond their legendary battles, they left behind more than just a legacy of courage. They left literal marks of their passage. Deep within the hallowed galleries of Hagia Sophia, in the very heart of Constantinople, a Varangian warrior named Halfdan etched his presence into eternity. With deliberate strokes, he carved ancient Viking runes, a defiant declaration reading, "Halfdan was here," a 1,000-year-old whisper from a Viking warrior, a testament to their indelible mark on history. Between the 13th and 14th centuries, the Almogavars emerged as an elite and fearsome mercenary force, serving the crown of Aragon with unparalleled ferocity. Born from the rugged lives of shepherds and mountain men, hardened by the crucible of the Reconquista, they specialized in irregular warfare as agile light infantry. They scorned heavy armor, embracing speed and agility. Their arsenal consisted of short spears, deadly throwing javelins, and brutal machetes. Before plunging into the chaos of battle, they performed a terrifying ritual, striking their weapons against stones, showering sparks, and roaring, "Despair to Pharaoh! Awaken Iron!" This primal display was designed to shatter enemy morale, cementing their reputation as the most feared infantry of their age. Their legend grew with astounding victories, such as in Asia Minor, where 6,500 Almogavars massacred an army twice their size, 13,000 Turks. A year later, a force of 7,000 achieved another impossible triumph, defeating 40,000 enemies at the strategic Battle of Mount Taurus. Ruthless in victory, they took no prisoners. Captured enemies, even children over 10 years old, were summarily eliminated without mercy. Dressed in rough clothing and animal skins, their mystical fighting style made them appear as ancient primal warriors. They emerged from the hills like a pack of wolves, unarmored, torsos covered in leather and soot, eyes burning with an unholy fury. From the rugged coastlines of Scotland, between the 13th and 16th centuries, emerged a fearsome mercenary force, the Gallowglass. These Norse Gaelic warriors, renowned for their unwavering loyalty and brutal efficiency, carved out a unique role, serving the feuding Irish chieftains as their most formidable heavy infantry and personal bodyguards. They were the bulwark against the encroachment of Norman and English invaders, a wall of steel and fury. Towering figures, robust and imposing. Chroniclers of the era described them as men of great and powerful bodies, cruel and without compassion. Unlike the mounted cavalry of their foes, the Gallowglass fought exclusively on foot, their resolve unyielding, preferring death in battle to the dishonor of retreat. Their weapon of choice was the colossal two-handed axe, a devastating instrument capable of cleaving through not just men, but also armored knights and their mounts with a single thunderous blow. Clad in intricate chainmail worn over thick padded gambesons and protected by sturdy iron helmets, they were a formidable sight on any battlefield. Each Gallowglass warrior was a self-contained unit of destruction, often accompanied by two dedicated assistants, one bearing additional weapons, ensuring a constant supply, and the other laden with provisions, guaranteeing their readiness for prolonged combat. Their strategic importance was immense, with contemporary chroniclers observing that the strength of battle lies with them, further noting their absolute refusal to surrender, preferring a warrior's death. Such was their unparalleled value and strategic importance that these elite warriors frequently served as extraordinary marriage dowries, a testament to their influence and prestige. In 1259, a pivotal moment saw 60 Gallowglass offered to an Irish king, initiating their significant presence. Centuries later, in 1569, an Irish leader famously received a staggering dowry of 1,200 Gallowglass, a clear indication of their enduring and elevated strategic worth. Time and again, they proved decisive in numerous Gaelic victories, even against numerically superior forces, solidifying their legend until the eventual advent of widespread firearms rendered their traditional combat style less effective. Their era of dominance eventually gave way, but their legacy as a formidable and unique fighting force remains etched in history, paving the way for other specialized units like the Knights Hospitaller, who would soon carve their own legend across the battlefields of Europe. Between the 11th and 16th centuries, a formidable power emerged, the Knights Hospitaller. Born in the holy city of Jerusalem, their initial calling was one of mercy, caring for the sick and the weary pilgrims who journeyed through the perilous lands. But as the tides of conflict turned, so too did their purpose. These devout individuals swiftly transformed into warrior monks, their compassionate hands now wielding swords and lances, becoming the unwavering protectors of the faithful and staunch defenders against Muslim invaders. After the fervent zeal of the Crusades waned, the Knights Hospitaller forged new bastions of strength, first on the windswept island of Rhodes, and then, most famously, on the rugged shores of Malta. Here, they stood as the very front line of Christendom, a bulwark against the encroaching shadow in the Mediterranean. Their expertise lay not only in the unyielding defense of their imposing fortresses, but also in daring naval corsair attacks, harrying and disrupting the powerful Ottoman fleet across the azure waters. The year 1565 marked their ultimate trial, an epic struggle known as the Great Siege of Malta. A relentless Ottoman army, numbering over 30,000 seasoned warriors, descended upon the island. Against this overwhelming tide stood a mere 500 Knights Hospitaller, bolstered by 5,000 brave Maltese militia. For 4 harrowing months they endured, defying all odds, a testament to sheer, unyielding will. The Hospitallers fought until the brink of collapse, repelling wave after brutal wave of assaults, their heavy armor gleaming under the sun, their long swords, lances, and crossbows finding their mark. From within their mighty fortifications, artillery roared, a defiant symphony of defense. But the siege was not without its horrors. When the Turks finally breached and captured a crucial fort, they mercilessly executed all its defenders, then brutally crucified their bodies, floating them as a grim warning into the bay. It was a sight that ignited a searing rage in Grandmaster John de Vallet. In a swift and brutal act of retribution, he ordered the beheading of Ottoman prisoners, their severed heads then fired from cannons back into the enemy camp.
This fierce, unwavering determination, a blend of pious conviction and savage resolve, shattered the Ottoman morale and ultimately forced their retreat. The astonishing victory at Malta resonated throughout history, standing as a pivotal turning point, one that decisively frustrated the relentless Turkish expansion into the heart of Europe.
From the heart of the Vatican, an ancient order stands as a silent sentinel. Since 1506, the Swiss Guard has been the unwavering defense force of the Pope and the Holy See, a legacy initiated by the visionary Pope Julius II. It holds the distinguished title of the world's oldest active military corps, boasting an astonishing over 5 centuries of uninterrupted service.
Their ranks are filled exclusively by devout Swiss Catholic men who meet a stringent minimum height requirement of 1.74 meters. With solemn faces and resolute hearts, they pledge an oath of absolute fidelity, an unbreakable bond to protect the pontiff at all costs. Traditionally, their formidable presence was defined by the gleaming halberds and swords they wielded. Yet, these guardians of faith are not bound by history alone. Today, they undergo rigorous training with modern firearms, blending ancient tradition with contemporary defense.
But their most profound moment of both glory and tragedy unfolded dramatically during the devastating sack of Rome on May 6, 1527. On that fateful day, a meager 189 Swiss Guard faced down an overwhelming army of 20,000 ruthless mercenaries who poured into the city like a relentless tide.
In a defiant, suicidal stand on the hallowed steps of St. Peter's Basilica, 147 valiant soldiers laid down their lives, forming an unbreakable shield around Pope Clement III. Their sacrifice was absolute, buying precious time against impossible odds. Through their heroic selflessness, Pope Clement III was able to escape, spirited away through a secret corridor that led him to the relative safety of Castel Sant'Angelo. Only 42 Swiss Guard remained alive, their blood-stained uniforms a testament to their valor, as they escorted the pontiff in his desperate flight. This unparalleled act of bravery and loyalty became etched forever into the very memory of the Church. To this day, every year on May 6th, new recruits are sworn in, echoing the vows of those who fell in 1527, ensuring their supreme sacrifice is never forgotten. Their legendary loyalty, now proverbial, resonated across Europe, inspiring other armies to actively seek out and hire Swiss mercenaries as elite, disciplined fighters in the centuries that followed, a testament to their enduring reputation. Emerging between the 16th and 18th centuries, the Polish Winged Hussars stood as Poland's elite heavy cavalry, a truly formidable force. They are celebrated as one of history's most effective shock forces, renowned for their devastating charges. Their arsenal was meticulously crafted for maximum impact, incredibly long hollow lances extending up to 6 meters, an ingenious innovation that made them both remarkably light and incredibly strong. Alongside these primary weapons, they wielded curved sabers for close combat, long thrusting swords, pistols for ranged engagements, and powerful maces. But it was their distinctive appearance that truly set them apart. They wore gleaming cuirasses that shimmered under the sun and iconic helmets, each adorned with 2 majestic wings fixed to their backs. These magnificent wings, crafted from rows of feathers attached to wooden frames, weren't just for show. They created an intimidating, almost ethereal angel of death appearance, striking fear into the hearts of their adversaries.
Furthermore, as these heavy cavalry thundered across the battlefield, the wings produced a terrifying whistling roar, a unique psychological weapon designed to panic and disorient enemy horses and their riders.
The Hussars' prowess was legendary, etched into the annals of military history through decisive victories.
At the Battle of Kirchholm in 1605, a mere 3,000 Polish Hussars achieved an astonishing feat, annihilating a Swedish army numbering 11,000 men in just 30 minutes.
It remains one of the most complete and overwhelming victories ever recorded.
Years later, at the Battle of Clushino in 1610, Facing a daunting 5-to-1 disadvantage against combined Russian and Swedish forces, the Hussars demonstrated their relentless resolve.
They charged relentlessly, a relentless tide of steel and fury, until the enemy lines were utterly broken and destroyed. Yet their most iconic and celebrated triumph occurred at the pivotal siege of Vienna in 1683. Here, 3,000 winged hussars, under the courageous leadership of King Jan Sobieski, spearheaded what would become history's largest cavalry charge.
Together with 18,000 Allied horsemen, they launched a thunderous assault that shattered the besieging Ottoman lines, unequivocally saving Vienna and altering the course of European history. For nearly 2 centuries, the very name Hussar evoked terror. No military formation could conceivably withstand the sheer, unyielding force of a winged hussar charge. Since its inception in 1831, the French Foreign Legion has stood as an unparalleled elite military force, forged from the will of foreign volunteers seeking a new destiny. For over a century, it was the formidable spearhead of French colonial expansion, pushing boundaries across vast, untamed lands. Even today, this remarkable legion continues to operate in the most challenging and remote theaters of conflict across the globe, a testament to their enduring legacy and resilience.
Their solemn motto, Legio Patria Nostra, the Legion is our homeland, encapsulates the profound bond shared among its members. For many legionaries, often men with shadowed pasts seeking redemption or a fresh start, the Legion transcends mere military service. It becomes their family, their nation, their entire world.
This incredible versatility defines them, a formidable infantry capable of enduring and fighting in the harshest deserts, the densest jungles, or the most unforgiving mountain ranges. They are renowned worldwide for their unbreakable esprit de corps, a spirit forged in shared hardship and unwavering loyalty, exemplified by their grim determination to either march or die.
Nowhere is this spirit more vividly etched into history than at the legendary Battle of Cameroon, Mexico, in 1863.
There, a mere 65 legionaries, outnumbered by an overwhelming force of approximately 2,000 Mexican soldiers, heroically resisted for 10 grueling hours. They fought with an almost mythical tenacity, expending their last bullet and battling until nearly the last man. Surrounded, with no hope of reinforcement, they steadfastly refused to surrender. In a desperate, final act of defiance, the few remaining survivors fixed their bayonets and charged into the face of impossible odds. Only 3 exhausted legionaries, gravely wounded, eventually laid down their arms, and even then, only with honor.
From that day, the Legion cultivated its unwavering maxim, "The Legion dies but does not surrender." To this very day, this hallowed unit remains the most decorated within the entire French armed forces, a living legend born from sacrifice and unyielding courage.
To this day, it remains the most decorated unit of the French armed forces. But now, we turn our gaze to another formidable force, the Arditi. Between 1917 and 1920, these elite assault troops, whose very name meant the daring ones, served with distinction in the Royal Italian Army. They were forged from the crucible of the Great War, specifically created to shatter the grinding, deadly stalemate of trench warfare that consumed a generation. These were the true pioneers of infiltration warfare, a new breed of soldier operating in small, agile groups, under the cloak of night, and utilizing every fold of the unforgiving terrain. They would silently penetrate enemy trenches, sowing chaos and fear moments before a general assault. Their training was brutal and comprehensive, focusing on savage hand-to-hand combat, the precise and devastating use of explosives, and expert climbing techniques to overcome any obstacle. Armed primarily for speed and efficacy in the claustrophobic confines of a trench, their main weapons were hand grenades and razor-sharp daggers, avoiding unnecessary bulk. While these were their signatures, many also carried specialized gear like pistols, short-barreled shotguns, light machine guns, or even flamethrowers for maximum impact.
They wore distinct dark uniforms, emblazoned with the striking black flames insignia, a testament to their fiery spirit. Their fearsome emblem, a skull biting a dagger, was a stark symbol of sudden death, a chilling promise to their adversaries. Eschewing heavy, cumbersome helmets, they opted for practical side-flap caps or black fezzes, reflecting their focus on agility. But it was their audacious motto that truly defined them: o la vittoria o tutti morti, either victory or all dead. This unyielding resolve propelled them through the most desperate battles. In 1918, they played a pivotal role in the decisive Vittoria Veneto offensive, spearheading the charge that ultimately broke the heavily fortified Austrian lines. They became legendary for their ability to seize enemy trenches in mere minutes, a whirlwind of grenades and blades, succeeding where conventional massed attacks had repeatedly and tragically failed. In the annals of covert warfare, few units are as enigmatic and effective as the Brandenburgers. Between 1939 and 1944, these were the elite special reconnaissance, sabotage, and infiltration units of Nazi Germany, operating under the veil of the Abwehr Military Intelligence Service. They were true chameleons, masters at seamlessly blending in as enemy troops or local civilians. Their operatives were fluent in multiple languages and possessed an intimate knowledge of foreign cultures, allowing them to move undetected through hostile territories. Their modus operandi was deception, infiltrating deep behind enemy lines, often wearing authentic enemy uniforms or unassuming civilian clothes. They would approach critical objectives like bridges, fortified bunkers, and vital supply depots, appearing as allies to disarm suspicion, only to unleash a devastating attack from within. Their modus operandi was deception, infiltrating deep behind enemy lines, often wearing authentic enemy uniforms or unassuming civilian clothes. They would approach critical objectives like bridges, fortified bunkers, and vital supply depots, appearing as allies to disarm suspicion, only to unleash a devastating attack from within. These small, highly trained groups were meticulously equipped with potent explosives, agile light machine guns, and, crucially, captured enemy weapons, all to maintain their convincing facade and avoid arousing the slightest suspicion. A testament to their audacious tactics occurred in 1940 during the swift invasion of Holland. A mere 9 Brandenburgers, cunningly disguised in Dutch uniforms and feigning the escort of German prisoners, managed to capture the vital Gien Bridge through sheer surprise, disrupting the enemy's defenses. A testament to their audacious tactics occurred in 1940 during the swift invasion of Holland. A mere 9 Brandenburgers, cunningly disguised in Dutch uniforms and feigning the escort of German prisoners, managed to capture the vital Gien Bridge through sheer surprise, disrupting the enemy's defenses. Later, on the eve of the colossal Operation Barbarossa in 1941, these phantom soldiers stealthily crossed the Soviet border. Dressed as ordinary civilians or even Red Army troops, they covertly sabotaged crucial communication lines and seized strategic bridges, clearing the path before the main German divisions had even arrived. Later, on the eve of the colossal Operation Barbarossa in 1941, these phantom soldiers stealthily crossed the Soviet border. Dressed as ordinary civilians or even Red Army troops, they covertly sabotaged crucial communication lines and seized strategic bridges, clearing the path before the main German divisions had even arrived. Later, on the eve of the colossal Operation Barbarossa in 1941, these phantom soldiers stealthily crossed the Soviet border. Dressed as ordinary civilians or even Red Army troops, they covertly sabotaged crucial communication lines and seized strategic bridges, clearing the path before the main German divisions had even arrived. Their efficiency was legendary, encapsulated by their chilling motto, "See everything, remain unseen." In 1942, during the fierce struggle for the Caucasus, a detachment ingeniously penetrated the strategic Maikop oil city, disguised as Soviet police.
Through sheer cunning and audacious planning, they managed to capture it almost without a fight. Their efficiency was legendary, encapsulated by their chilling motto, "See everything, remain unseen." In 1942, during the fierce struggle for the Caucasus, a detachment ingeniously penetrated the strategic Maykop oil city, disguised as Soviet police. Through sheer cunning and audacious planning, they managed to capture it almost without a fight.
Missions that would typically take weeks behind enemy lines were routinely completed with minimal casualties, a testament to their unparalleled skill in deception and preemptive strikes.
However, the very unconventional nature of their methods ultimately led to the unit's dissolution in 1944, their unique brand of warfare deemed too irregular for the changing tides of the conflict.
From the ashes of unconventional warfare tactics arose a unit destined to redefine special operations. Since 1941, the Special Air Service, SAS, has stood as the United Kingdom's pioneering force, a beacon of modern special forces, constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
It was born from the audacious vision of Major David Stirling amidst the harsh, shifting sands of North Africa during the brutal campaigns of World War II.
Conceived not for conventional battle, but for precision commando operations, deep long-range reconnaissance, surgical sabotage, and the nascent art of counterterrorism.
In the crucible of World War II, the early SAS forged its legend. Under the cloak of desert nights, they executed daring commando raids far behind Axis lines, their distinctive armed jeeps tearing across the desolate landscape.
With clandestine nocturnal supplies, they struck vital enemy installations, annihilating aircraft and critical depots. They descended upon isolated airfields like specters, crippling over 400 Nazi and Italian aircraft on the ground, before melting back into the vast, unforgiving dunes, vanishing without a trace before the first hint of dawn.
These were not massed armies, but small, elite groups of just 4 highly trained men, each a master of their craft, a specialist in explosives, an expert marksman, an unparalleled navigator, and a vital first aid medic.
They embraced a creed as bold as their actions, adopting the unwavering motto, "Who dares wins," emblazoned beneath their iconic winged dagger emblem.
Their selection process became legendary, known for its extremely high physical and mental demands, testing the very limits of human endurance and resolve.
But it was in 1980 that the SAS truly burst onto the world stage, capturing global attention during the tense and volatile Iranian embassy incident in London, UK. 6 terrorists had seized control, holding 26 innocent hostages within the embassy walls. In a mere 17 minutes of breathtaking action, witnessed live on television screens worldwide, highly trained SAS operators stormed the building. With surgical precision and an almost unnerving coolness under immense pressure, they neutralized 5 of the captors, ultimately rescuing all remaining survivors from certain death. Major David Stirling, often seen as an unconventional, even playboy by some, had proven a profound truth. A handful of exceptionally well-trained, highly motivated men could inflict far greater strategic damage and achieve more decisive outcomes than entire battalions. Their legacy was set, paving the way for future elite units. Since the mid-20th century, specifically the 1950s, the name Spetsnaz has become synonymous with the elite Soviet and later Russian special forces. These formidable units are meticulously tasked with the most perilous missions: deep, long-range reconnaissance operations behind enemy lines, strategic sabotage targeting critical infrastructure, and swift, decisive counter-terrorism interventions. Their reputation is built on the sheer, uncompromising toughness of their physical and psychological training. Spetsnaz soldiers endure grueling, exhausting marches through unforgiving terrain, master brutal forms of martial arts, and conduct harrowing exercises with live ammunition, pushing their limits to the brink.
They are trained to expertly handle every type of weapon imaginable and to survive against all odds with the most scarce means. Chilling reports tell of recruits dropped into the desolate frozen forests of Siberia with nothing but a combat knife and a flint, forced to rely solely on their wits and training to endure. A defining and seminal episode in their history was Operation Storm 333, a lightning assault on the Taj Beg Palace in Kabul, Afghanistan in 1979. On the fateful night of December 27th, a mere 700 Spetsnaz operators launched a daring strike against the heavily fortified residence of the Afghan president. This formidable stronghold was defended by nearly 2,000 heavily armed guards, a seemingly insurmountable numerical advantage. Yet, in a breathtaking, lightning-fast operation lasting just 43 minutes, these Soviet commandos, under a hail of enemy fire, swiftly crossed the open grounds, breached the palace defenses, and systematically eliminated practically the entire palace guard. Astonishingly, they achieved this with only 20 of their own casualties, a testament to their unparalleled skill and ferocity.
Beyond the battlefield, Spetsnaz folklore is rich with tales of almost superhuman feats, breaking solid bricks with their bare hands, swimming seemingly impossible kilometers through frigid, ice-laden waters, or achieving pinpoint accuracy with their firearms after disorienting spins on a trampoline. They deliberately cultivate the chilling image of lethal, unpredictable super soldiers, a force to be reckoned with.
Their unwavering commitment was tragically demonstrated in Beslan in 2004, where several officers made the ultimate sacrifice, heroically covering active explosives with their own bodies to shield innocent children. More recently, during the Crimea annexation of 2014, they emerged as the mysterious Little Green Men, elite troops devoid of insignia, who swiftly secured strategic points without firing a single shot, showcasing their mastery of unconventional warfare.
Their unofficial motto encapsulates their ethos. Nothing stops us. We do the impossible. Miracles take a little longer.
Since 1962, born from the crucible of the colonial war in Africa, emerged an elite force, the Portuguese Commandos. These were the special forces of the Portuguese army, meticulously designed for the brutal realities of counter-guerrilla operations and arduous long-range patrols deep within the unforgiving jungles and vast savannas of Angola, Mozambique, and Guinea. They moved like phantoms, operating in small, autonomous groups, relentlessly tracking insurgents, ambushing hidden camps with deadly precision, and executing swift, high-mobility shock actions that left their adversaries stunned and scattered. The commando course itself became the stuff of legend, a crucible of unimaginable toughness. Recruits endured punishing 90-kilometer forced marches, faced isolated survival scenarios against all odds,
And underwent grueling resistance to simulated torture designed to break their spirit. Yet the maxim preached was unyielding. The commando's main weapon is his own will.
Armed with the robust G3 rifles, razor-sharp machetes, and an arsenal of grenades, they were infamous for their unbridled ferocity, expending vast amounts of ammunition in close combat to ensure overwhelming fire superiority.
In battle, they transformed, painting their faces in stark black and crimson, emerging from the dense jungle foliage like avenging demons.
Among their ranks, a controversial ritual persisted, the symbolic drinking of blood from the first enemy killed, a macabre rite of cohesion, a visceral defiance of fear itself.
Guerrilla forces, once defiant, fled in absolute terror at the mere sight and sound of the Red Berets' countercharge.
They would burst from the shadowy forest, and within minutes the battle clearing would fall silent, the air heavy with the aftermath. Miraculously, at the subsequent roll call, none of their own were ever missing.
As we conclude this epic journey through Europe's elite, remember to join our ranks by liking this video and subscribing for more historical revelations.
But the sagas don't end here. Prepare yourselves, for what's next promises to plunge even deeper into the annals of military legend.
From the mythical 10,000 warriors of ancient Persia, a force so formidable they were believed never to perish,
to the chilling fate of Cyrus the Great, whose severed head mid its watery grave, drowned in the very blood of a vengeful queen.
And witnessed the ruthless tactics of the Chinese general, who condemned 400,000 prisoners to be buried alive.
These are merely glimpses into the extraordinary tales of the 12 legendary warriors and most formidable military units of Asia.